Hello and welcome to the ThreeWill's podcast. This is your host, Danny Ryan, and today I am here with Matthew Chestnut. Matthew, good to see you.
Hello again, Danny. It's been what a quarter, 3 months, whatever the math is, how that works out.
It's been 3 months since our last little get-together. And I guess the good and bad is that you've been doing a lot of the same with Sustainment, which is wonderful to hear. Everybody around here loves sustainment projects because it's just wonderful to be able to help somebody out over long periods of time. Joe likes them a lot.
Sure.
For certain reasons. Tommy likes them. But it's just wonderful to be able to have some of these clients where they just keep coming back for more and more help with something that we've built, or just I know some of them are just sort of things that have been built out there that we're just helping keep them along and adding new features and stuff like that. So it's wonderful to hear. So for somebody who's not familiar with what Sustainment is, just give me a real high level overview.
Well, ThreeWill does a lot of different types of projects for customers. It could be application development, it could be portal development, website design, and content and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. So Sustainment, the idea behind that is some of our enterprise customers don't want to be left holding the bag when we get done. And that's great for us. We're certainly willing to support and maintain the code or design or whatever we've done for the customer. We're more than willing to do that in the future. So the whole idea behind Sustainment is that the customer purchases or sets up an agreement with us, and we're there to answer the email, answer the phone calls if they come across questions during the implementation or just use of the application, or if they want to start adding new features. They've decided after a few months that, okay, it's time to go to phase 2. Maybe they had phase 2 planned when they first did it. Maybe it's after using the product or the service, they decided they want more. So Sustainment, the whole idea there is we've got a pre-arranged agreement with the company to answer their emails. We've got an ongoing relationship. We know the product, and we're there to help them.
It's funny, sometimes on the website I'll put managed services in parentheses because I think a lot of people call that, what we essentially call Sustainment and call it managed services, and that we're really doing a combination of support along with app dev, along with some of the portal stuff that we do. But it's really just a nice way for someone to take what maybe they've already invested in and make sure that it's maintained over time.
Yeah, we're sustaining the investment they made, but also in some regards, we're sustaining the relationship that we have with the customer. Mm-hmm. And really, that's the most important thing, because they might go quiet for a few months or a year, but then they want to come back and do something else. So having the sustainment in place makes that transition so much easier, because we can switch from project mode to sustainment mode back and forth as needed. In fact, I've been working with an enterprise project for probably 18 months off and on, in addition to the sustainment work I do. So it's not like I sit around all day, wait for the phone to ring, anything like that. We're certainly busy with a variety of different projects, but I transition from project work and sustainment work, and Danny, that is the biggest challenge.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about how the heck you manage that, because I know some of them someone will ask for maybe putting together an estimate. I imagine you have to manage that part of it along with sort of keeping things in a backlog as far as what you're working on, and you're working closely, I'm sure, with Caroline and with Brandon and with other folks here at ThreeWill to help out as needed. Tell me about this whole process of managing things as they're coming in.
Well, when we do project work, we follow an agile process where there are sprints every couple of weeks, usually 2 to maybe even 3 week sprints. We have daily stand-ups. We have a structure to a project, and it makes the project delivery so much simpler. With sustainment, however, you really can't plan. For example, we might get a call from a customer, an email that says, hey, let's get together and talk. We want add a few new features to the application. And so we do that. We have the conversation, we take the notes, we wrap it up into here's what I heard you say, Mr. Customer, and then we provide an estimate. We've gotten to a point where we do what we call t-shirt sizing on estimates. We don't go to a full-blown, this is going to take 3 weeks, 6 weeks to do, because a lot of these sustainment items are very small. 1 day, 1 hour, 2 days, things of that nature. So there's a lot of little pieces that get put together. The customer may say, okay, great, thank you for the estimate. We're going to hold off for another couple weeks because I got some other things in the queue. So these items start, adding up. The big challenge is to make certain that we keep track of all these requests so that when the customer gets back in contact with us, we can kind of replay to them what they've asked us to do. And now we can find out if they want changes to what they've asked or even additions to what they've asked. So managing this data, we don't do it through email because email is a great communication tool, but it's not a great project management tool, as we know. So we use a couple of different tools. Autotask is our ticket generating system as well as a project management system. So we'll create a ticket for the customer to give us a point of reference to always go back to. Now, a particular body of work may actually encompass several tickets because it might have been several phone calls, or one ticket may encompass many different things. It just depends on how often the customer is contacting us and when they actually want the work done. So it's a balance between the two.
Nice. This sounds great. You guys, it's too bad we don't do WordPress stuff. I would like to sign up for Sustainment for our website.
Really, isn't that the truth? Because there's always something that has to be added, changed, updated, what have you. Yes. And I know we have sometimes, I don't know if you've ever had the interns work on the WordPress for you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Austin helped me out. By the end of the internship, he was like me and saying, maybe there's a WordPress plugin. I basically have to do... I use plugins plus duct tape on our website to get everything to work together. So, but it's great how I love how we're able to to take something, an idea from somebody, and at least give them that T-shirt size so they can. Because the whole metaphor of a shopping cart and at least knowing at a high level what a different price is for something, you can say, oh no, that's way too, that's too expensive, or I can't, that's not something that's worth that much to me. And you can make that decision very early on. It's just nice. You just feel like you're in control if you're able to do that.
And that's exactly how the customers view it, because sometimes they'll ask for certain things. They'll say, ooh, I want drag and drop, or I want this widget. And we'll explain to them saying, oh yeah, we can do that, but doing it in that particular manner that you're requesting is 40 hours of work. Whereas we can do it this slightly different way, might be 2 hours of work, because we've already got the mechanisms in play. There are already patterns in place for that type of work. Get it done quickly. And most of the time the customer will say, thank you for saving me 38 hours of our budget. And let's do it the easy way. And if we want to change it in the future, we can. So we're always communicating back and forth with the customer, making certain we understand what they want, and really being a technical partner and trying to maintain a long-standing relationship, getting that trust that we gained during projects from years past, and just continuing that effort.
That's great. Yeah, I think the whole approach that we take with really relying more on configuration-based solutions as opposed to building something, customizing and coding something. It's great that we've maintained that discipline through the years, because I think in the end people are going to be much more happier with what they get.
Well, we use our creative parts of our brain to come up with ways to help manage the process. We might not be working on the latest gadget on the computer, but if we're thinking of the whole and we're trying to say, how can we make this whole process go smoother, we're still exercising our creative aspects. So it's nice to be able to do that as well.
Yeah. Well, this has been great. I love what you're doing in Sustainment, and I really appreciate you guys have great discipline over there, and I know people love this because they keep coming back for more. So congratulations to you and the team, and thank you for doing such a great job day in, day out, Matthew.
Well, you're welcome, Danny. And I just realized I left my phone on not vibrate, or I didn't silence it, so we're lucky that it didn't beep, because it's been pretty busy lately, but we love it.
Well, yeah, so somebody is going to call you for a ticket's going to go off, and you need to say, I get notification. You get notifications of... Well, so the phone behaved, and we could edit it out if it did happen.
Oh, good point. We have those abilities.
Yes, Austin has those abilities. Okay. So, well, thank you so much for taking the time to do this, and I guess I'll see you in 3 months.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Take care. Bye-bye.